Good morning and welcome to the 8th Annual New Jersey Watershed Conference. My name is Jim Waltman and I'm proud to serve as the Watershed Institute's Executive Director. With me this morning is Pat Haney, the Watershed Institute's Assistant Director of Education. We're so pleased that you could join us this morning, and we're very grateful that the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection is collaborating with us on the conference this year. Today's session will be exclusively online, and tomorrow will be in person at the College of New Jersey, although you will be able to participate virtually tomorrow as well. Now, if you registered to be virtual tomorrow, but would like to change your registration and come to the College of New Jersey, please submit a request for change to conference@thewatershed.org. Now, below I go any further, I'd like to ask Pat for a land acknowledgement.
Wanishi Jim, Welly Opong, Tamike, Delawansi, Pat, Ok, Delanisi. Good morning, welcome. My name is Pat and I'm speaking Lenape. I'm speaking Lenape as a reminder that the land we're on is known as Lenape Hoking. It is the ancestral homeland of the indigenous Lenape people. And we want to acknowledge that and show gratitude for these caretakers of the lands and waters. Those who were here in the past, those who are here now, for they are still here, and those who will be here in the future. And to do that, we can help revitalize the language. So today we'll learn 2 words in Lenape. The first is the word for thank you, wanishi, wanishi. And the second is the word for water, and it's very simple. B. Wanishi, Jim.
Wanishi. Thank you, Pat. I also want to recognize that this is Black History Month, a time to honor and celebrate the contributions of Black Americans to our nation's life, history, and culture. I'd like to thank the sponsors of today's conference, which are on one of these slides, for helping make this event possible. Their logos are shown on the screen, and several of them have booths at the conference tomorrow. Please drop by and say hi at their tables. Now, the Watershed Institute works to keep water clean, safe, and healthy through conservation, advocacy, science, and education, a mission we've adhered to for 75 years. This year's conference features more than 50 speakers and includes professionals in each of these fields. Now, this conference is taking place as a turbulent time in our country. The new federal administration has made very clear its plan to pause, replace, and repeal regulations and programs designed to protect Americans' health from environmental contamination and climate change. I would like to take just a moment to acknowledge and thank our federal public servants, our federal partners who work to protect and restore our water, watersheds, and communities as employees of the US EPA, US Fish and Wildlife Service, NOAA and its Fisheries and Habitat Conservation Agency, FEMA, the US Department of Agriculture and the Natural Resource Conservation Service, USGS, National Park Service, US Army Corps of Engineers, and other federal agencies. Thank you for your service. We're very grateful for your partnership. Now, New Jersey has desperately needed strong environmental protections because large areas of our state were developed and industrialized before many others. We have an unfortunate legacy of environmental contamination and crumbling infrastructure. The large majority of our water bodies fail to meet water quality standards, and too many of our drinking water systems are tainted by lead and forever chemicals like PFAS. Fortunately, New Jersey has a history of environmental leadership, bipartisan environmental leadership, and we benefit from state laws and regulations that in many instances are more protective than national measures. The Watershed Institute is proud to have helped spearhead bipartisan efforts in our state to address water pollution, flooding, and other environmental concerns. Under the new federal administration, this state leadership is more important than ever. Climate change is exacerbating our water problems. Removing references to climate change from federal websites and firing federal workers with climate in their job titles won't change this. The continued creep of warehouses and other land developments also makes our problems more challenging. Asphalt, concrete, and other hard surfaces that are impervious to rain and snow create more flooding during storms and simultaneously block the recharge of our aquifers. Warmer water and nutrient pollution of our water bodies has created an explosion of harmful algal blooms that are toxic to people, pets, and wildlife. The call for environmental restoration is loud and clear. Now, the Murphy administration has enacted and proposed a number of really important measures to help slow the pace at which our water pollution and flooding problems would otherwise be far worse. The governor's NJ Pact, protecting against climate threats, and DEP's Inland Flood Protection Rule and Resilient Environments and Landscape Rule are national leaders, directing the state to consider precipitation regimes, floodplains, and sea levels that are projected for the end of the century in regulating land use, not the end of the current business cycle. The real rule must be adopted as soon as possible, and we urge the administration to continue pushing this forward across the finish line. DEP's Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System, the MS4 permit, requires watershed planning for solutions that address our water pollution and flooding problems. This is real progress. As are settlements under the Natural Resource Damage Program, which are providing critical funding to restore watersheds by removing dams, restoring degraded habitats, and making our communities more resilient in the face of climate change. But much more needs to be done by our state government to restore degraded streams, rivers, wetlands, and watersheds. It's not good enough to slow the rate at which these essential resources are degraded anymore. We need to move forward to their actual restoration. Which brings us to the theme of this year's conference, resiliency through restoration. The daunting threats that New Jersey faces from flooding, droughts, water pollution, harmful algal blooms, diminished biodiversity, these are all most effectively addressed through collaboration and cooperation across municipal, county, and even state boundaries. As climate change exacerbates these threats, regional planning to restore watersheds is more essential than ever. Restoration is one of the most effective tools we have to build climate resiliency and safeguard our communities. By restoring wetlands, riparian buffers, forests, and floodplains, we can enhance the natural processes that help absorb stormwater, filter pollutants, and protect our communities from flooding. With the leadership of people in attendance at this conference, these types of restorations are already having tangible effects right here in New Jersey. The work that we're doing together to advance watershed protection and restoration requires many talents and many areas of expertise, so many of which are represented in this conference. From scientists to advocates, engineers and educators, planners, regulators, attorneys, landscape architects, communicators, community organizers, even financial managers, and of course, many others. All of you are essential. It's essential that all of us work together. In closing, let me just say that there is terrific work being done in New Jersey through collaboration, and the Watershed Institute is proud to be part of this watershed community. The work that we do together is essential and will only become more important over time as we help our communities become more resilient through restoration. Thank you again for joining us this morning. Hope to see many of you in person tomorrow at the College of New Jersey. Please enjoy the conference. Thank you.